This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy, and that's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. We're getting close to our new goal of 250 subscribers, and we're almost at 150 episodes. So I thought we'd do something we haven't done in a while, and that is a collection video, specifically TV series on DVD. More specifically, TV comedy series on DVD. Some that you recognize, some that you hardly even heard of. That's for all you Kinks fans out there. Let's check it out. I want to start with somebody who I consider a comic genius, the late, great Garry Shandling. I first saw Garry Shandling when he was a stand-up comedian on various talk shows. I always thought he was funny, and I know he was a writer for various sitcoms such as Sanford and Son. And in 1986, he made his first television show. It's Garry Shandling Show. He was offered the job as permanent guest host on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. He decided to go and do this show instead. It ran for 4 seasons on Showtime, when Showtime was just starting out to be one of those premium cable channels. I saw it when they reran it on regular TV. It was on Fox Channel 11 here in Los Angeles. This is a 8-disc box set. One thing I don't like about this box is that's how it opens. So you can easily make the mistake of having it drop out. But we're going to put that right there. And this is the box. And on the back, you'll see some details about the show. Basically, it's a very loose premise. It's about a guy named Garry Shandling who's a comedian, and he's single, and he's living in the Valley. And actually, the set was patterned after his real condo in Sherman Oaks, California, in the Valley. And it's basically him and his neighbors and his family and people he encounters along the way. And there are some extras down here, as you can see, some featurettes with the cast and crew, and there's some commentaries as well. You'll see some of the guest stars that show up here. Rob Reiner, Tom Petty was in a few of them. Red Buttons, Dan Aykroyd, Martin Mull, Gilda Radner in her last TV performance. Even LA Mayor Tom Bradley showed up in this. So the main thing about this show is it broke the fourth wall more than any show I've ever seen. Now, some older TV comedies like Burns and Allen and the Jack Benny Show. In fact, Larry Gelbart said Garry Shandling in this show is like Jack Benny on speed. Some of those old shows, they broke the fourth wall too. But this one really takes it to new heights. Garry is the only one that speaks to the audience. And you see the audience also. They're almost part of the show. And he gets in a golf cart in a lot of scenes, and he rides the golf cart from one set to the other, and you see the cameraman, you see all the guy, the casting, the crew working behind the scenes and all that, and it's pretty funny. It's not that consistently funny. I mean, it's really creative, but it kind of wears thin after a while, I thought, unfortunately. But a great concept. This is what it looks like. Basically, you have various discs for each season, and then inside it kind of looks like that. And then you have a booklet which gives some background on the show, credits, and then you have a very simple synopsis of each episode, the air date, who wrote it, who directed it, and if there were any special guest stars in the show. So really a great beginning for Garry Shandling. And this set is, for some reason, going for a lot of money. I got this as a gift a long time ago. I think back then it was going for maybe $100. I checked on Amazon. Right now, this is going for $550. I don't see it streaming anywhere either, but of course that can always change. Garry Shandling's next series was far superior and generally considered one of the best comedies ever made. I would agree with that, and it's the Larry Sanders Show, the complete series. This is 6 seasons, and it began on HBO in 1992, And Larry Sanders is a talk show host played by Garry Shandling. His sidekick is played by Jeffrey Tambor, and his producer is played by Rip Torn. Great cast, great writing. Everything is top notch in here. And it's interesting because they have the talk show, and then it switches to a different kind of film style when the cameras go off and you see behind the scenes. So a lot of this is behind the scenes stuff. He's a very insecure guy, and he's very competitive, and there's a lot of backbiting going on back and forth, and it's really a lot of fun and sharply written and very well acted. And you have different people coming in, like Janeane Garofalo as one of his assistants, and Bob Odenkirk as his manager, sort of a precursor to his Saul Goodman character in Breaking Bad. And because it's a talk show, you had many guest stars because they would be on the talk show. This began also his kind of collaboration with Judd Apatow, though Garry Shandling was really a mentor to Judd Apatow. So let's take a look at this one. And there's a whole disc of bonus features here. There's a lot of bonus features in this one, and it's basically similar to the other set, different colors and different poses. And then on each disc you have the episode title and when it aired, and then I believe this is what it looks like inside here. And then I believe you have in the booklet, yeah, this is the complete episode guide. A little background material, and then, yeah, per season, again, a synopsis, who wrote it, who the guest stars are, and who directed each one. So, one of the best comedies ever made, I think, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. This set, like this, is going for $180. But you can get a different configuration for much less. Like I'm saying, 25, maybe 30 bucks. So you really don't need this whole box. And I don't know if the other configurations have all the extras, but if you just want to see the show, or if you have HBO, you can watch it on there. It's all streaming. And since we were just talking about HBO, and I mentioned Bob Odenkirk being in the Larry Sanders Show, this is the comedy show he did with David Cross. David Cross being a comedian and a writer, and he was also in Arrested Development, among other things. So this is Mr. Show with Bob and David. It ran for 4 seasons on HBO starting in 1995. And I think the best way to describe this is it's very much inspired by Monty Python, where you not only just have sketches, but you also have sketches that lead into each other, or sometimes there's a through line among all the sketches. It doesn't have to end like on Saturday Night Live. It doesn't have to end in some punchline or some awkward way. It can just end however they want, just like Monty Python did. And there is the back, and there are some special features there. And like Larry Sanders Show, this was on HBO, so they could use whatever kind of language they want to use on this one, and they definitely did. Let's check it out. This is first and second season, and that's kind of basically what it looks like inside. It has the name of each episode and what's in each episode, and that's the inside there. So Mr. Show, and I was a long time coming to this one. I kind of ignored it. I didn't really know what it was, but then once I found out what it was, I was pretty impressed. It can be kind of silly, like Monty Python, but definitely worth your time, especially if you're a fan of these two guys, or if you're a fan of Bob Odenkirk. They also brought in a lot of what they might call alternative comedians at the time, mostly based in Los Angeles, such as, again, Janeane Garofalo and Sarah Silverman. The good news about this is, if you want to get it, It's going for about 28 bucks right now on Amazon. And even better, if you have HBO, it should be streaming on there, the entire series. And speaking of Monty Python, now for something completely different. We're going all the way back to 1965 and the classic comedy series, Get Smart. This is the complete series with the great Don Adams as Agent 86 and Barbara Feldon as Agent 99. 5 seasons this ran, I believe, on CBS, and I think it switched to another network after that. This was a James Bond parody series, like a secret agent parody, and I also think they borrowed from Man from U.N.C.L.E. as well. One of the main signatures was he had a shoe phone and all these different gadgets, so he would take off his shoe and open some different parts of the shoe up and talk into it. It also used a lot of movie parodies in various episodes as well. But the main appeal is Don Adams is hilarious, and there were several catchphrases that came out of this series, such as "Would you believe?" And I even had an album, a Get Smart album, with different sound clips from the show. It was created by Buck Henry and Mel Brooks, and I think it's one of the best things those guys ever did. It's still funny. The only problem with it is the laugh track. It does have a laugh track, and it's kind of distracting and annoying. It's too bad you can't listen to it or watch it without the laugh track. I'm going to open this up, and it's really a bear to get out, but it opens like this. And if you're familiar with the show's opening credits, this is what the opening credits look like, where Maxwell Smart, played by Don Adams, is going through these various doors and into a telephone booth, and then he goes down to Control. He works for the organization called Control. That's the good guys, and they're fighting the forces of chaos. These are 5 different packages, one for each season, and I'm going to try to get one of these out. They kind of stuck in there, so I can show you what it looks like. There we go. So that's what it looks like. There are also some various guest stars on this series too. You know, old school comedians and stuff. And other special features. There are some bonus features on here, some commentaries. James Caan was one of the guest stars on one of them. It's surprising what kind of people show up on some of these. And it opens up like this. And there's Agent 86 and Agent 99. There's the bad guy, Siegfried. And so pretty nice packaging here, as you can see. Nicely done. And a little booklet inside each one of these. I'm going to assume that's the episode guide for each one. I haven't looked at this in a while. And this is just a lot of fun. I actually got this one at Costco when Costco still sold DVDs. I think I paid $100 for it. You can get this now. I've seen it anywhere from $58 to $99. I'm talking about the complete series, except you're not going to get this packaging. I haven't seen this particular box on Amazon. As I was preparing this video, I realized some of these people show up in several of these shows. There's Bob Odenkirk again from Larry Sanders Show and the Mr. Show. There is Janine Garofalo from Larry Sanders Show. The two of them dated for a while. Andy Dick is this one. He was also in News Radio afterwards. And Ben Stiller, of course. This is the Ben Stiller Show from 1992. I think it only ran maybe for 1 or 2 seasons. And it was one of the first shows on Fox when Fox TV was just beginning. And I always thought it was very funny. They relied a lot on spoofs. They would have Ben Stiller playing Eddie Munster in Cape Fear. They did parodies of 90210. They had Stiller playing Springsteen. And they had a piece called Manson that was based on the old Lassie TV show. But instead of a dog, Manson was sort of like the dog that saved everybody. It was pretty funny. So again, a lot of alternative comedians from the Los Angeles area in this show. And some of these spoofs, like 90210, are going to be a little dated because people are going to say they never heard of that show. So, interestingly, this won an Emmy for outstanding writing for a variety or comedy series after it was canceled. So this you can get really cheaply, $10 I've seen it for. Maybe used, you can get even cheaper if you want to check this out. But I think it's definitely worth a look. It's pretty funny. I saved the worst for last. This is Son of the Beach. This is volume 1. I think there were only 2 volumes to this show, or 2 seasons rather. And this is the Howard Stern production. I've been a Howard Stern fan for a long time. I saw him on David Letterman before he was ever syndicated, so I always thought he was interesting. And then when he came on the radio in LA after he got syndicated, I've been listening to him ever since. Personally, I think his show is lagging a lot lately on Sirius XM. I still listen occasionally. Sometimes I find it boring. Sometimes it's funny. But this was his show, and the reason I added this, even though it's really not that great, is because he doesn't really talk about this anymore. So if you're a Howard Stern fan, you might want to check this show out. It's basically a spoof of Baywatch, and typically, like Howard Stern, it's almost all sex jokes. There's a little bit of parody in here too, some other spoofs as well. But a lot of girls taking showers and dousing themselves with water and stuff. And it's 3 discs. It's from it's from the year 2000. And even the names, I'm not going to say them, the names are like sexual double entendres. And there's the back of some of them. I think there are a couple of extras here and there. Yeah, special features. You'll see some guest stars show up. Mainly people that used to be on his radio show, including comedians like Gilbert Gottfried, rest in peace. And it's if you're a fan, I think it's worth a look. Pretty plain inside. There's no booklet or anything like that. And this goes right now for about $56 on Amazon. I have a few other TV comedy series on DVD, but I limited this episode just to 6 because I didn't want to go too long. So let me know if you'd like to see the other ones I have, including maybe my all-time favorite TV comedy series. And I do have some other genres in my TV on DVD collection. So let me know if you'd like to see some more of these TV on DVD collection videos. And you can let me know that by leaving a comment down here or by leaving a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Hope you like this one, and I'll see you next time.